Hello, Mark Crossfield here. We've got more swing fixes coming at you via my golf app. So this guy has bought the app, hit the button at the bottom, sent me his swing. We're going to give him some help. We've got a backswing that on first appearances looks kind of okay, but a downswing which is noticeably swinging on the wrong direction and the path gets a bit funky. But we're going to give him a fix in his backswing, his downswing, to try and help him with his path. Let's get stuck in. Right guys, here we go. We see the swing here. If you watch it here, you can see first impressions looks not too bad. On the way back then we see a big change of direction. Now when I work with golfers like this, I often find that if I can give them a thought to just change the idea of what their backswing's about, it can manipulate the downswing. Now this isn't always the case, but I think for someone who's swinging this way, it really does kind of, it can change their path, their swing direction, their path, without you even letting them know you're working on that to a certain extent. So what I mean by that, he makes a backswing that on that 2D camera, first instinct, looks okay. But to me, he looks like he's getting very narrow. So putting a lot of wrist hinging to how much shoulder turn he's putting in. So getting a little bit out of sync and a little bit close, say, with the shaft to his right shoulder. Now to try and get that club to come below the hand path on the way down, so to try and get that head drop below that hand path to allow him to hit through the ball a little bit better, will be nearly impossible if he creates no space, because as soon as that handle starts to drop and that club starts to drop, he's going to feel like he's hitting himself. The other thing as well is his wrists won't be able to move anymore. He'll literally be having to let go of the club. So often, if you give golfers like this an idea of creating a lot more width on the way back, what you find is it actually gets them to change direction of their club path in the downswing. So really, I want you to hit a few shots. I've got a 7-iron here. Take distance totally out of the equation. I want you just to feel like you're playing like a 50-yard pitch, if you like, with your 7-iron, but putting no wrist hinge in. So feel like you're literally just sweeping the club back and sweeping it through. I want you to do it, if you can, on a slight rounded curve is the feeling. So literally no wrist, no wrist. And I caught that out at the bottom because it's hard to hit the ball this way, but it went relatively straight as my path was relatively straightened out. And then as you do this, try and work in a few slightly bigger actions. But the main thing to do when you do this is to get the feeling of the club moving on this different path, get the feeling of this non-change of pressures on the handle that you get. You'll find when you do these kind of swings that you'll find your feeling of your pressure where you're pushing and pulling the club is relatively even. You're not giving it this kind of shove over to the right like we see at the minute. Big thing to mention as well with this, when you do this with people, first issue, when they try to do less wrist hinge, I often find that they kind of go with it with their upper body and then they top the ball with the ground way back. Try and keep quite a centered turn as you do it, so keep your body turning with the ball, just kind of stretching that club back and through. Do a few swings that way, hit a few shots, don't try and put any distance into it, and then when you feel that you can make that consistent strike, turning on top of the ball, creating that width, you could try putting some energy into it. And a good way to do that is try not to add wrist hinge to get that energy. Try and literally feel like you're just swinging your arms and the club faster. And what tends to happen then is people tend to put a reasonable amount of hinge in because they realise they've got to create some forces and create some speed, rather than just shoving all that kind of narrowness back in there. Hope that helps. Give it a go, slightly different one there. It really works with students. I've done it a lot recently and it completely changes their path kind of in 2 or 3 swings, and if they go away and practice this at home and then come back, you can see that it kind of sticks with them. They come back making a better movement. Let me know what you think. Post comments, love to hear what you got to say, guys. Thanks for sending the swing, thanks for buying the app, and we'll speak to you soon. So if you like what's going on here, don't be afraid to subscribe to the channel. Also thumbs up the video, post comments, love to hear what you guys got to say. Let's keep it social. The more we talk, the more we share, the easier this game will get for everybody. So if you want to find me on Facebook here, you can find me on Facebook. If you want to tweet me, find me on Twitter here as well. Just follow the links, all in the description. Come and join the show, get active, get involved, get playing some better golf. Thanks for watching.